Fear is not your enemy. It's your untrained power, screaming to be mastered. You've been taught to run from it, numb it, hide it. But what if I told you, fear is the signal that you are standing at the exact doorway your destiny guards? Every woman who ever broke free from the ordinary felt the same chill crawl up her spine before she rose. That trembling you call weakness. It's the fire that forges the rarest kind of strength. But most never learn to wield it. They bury it, medicate it, scroll it away. You've been conditioned to mistake discomfort for danger. You've been told safety equals peace. But peace built on avoidance is just a silent kind of death. You weren't born to tiptoe around your potential. You were born to walk straight into the storm and remember who you are. The fear inside you, it's ancient. It remembers every lifetime you silenced your voice, every time you dimmed your light to make others comfortable, and it's done waiting. Listen to me carefully. Fear is not warning you to stop. It's summoning you to begin. It's the vibration of expansion, the tremor before transformation. When you feel it rise in your chest, do not retreat. Breathe it in like oxygen. Let it burn through the illusions that kept you small. The world is full of those who ran from their fear and called it wisdom. You see them every day. Hollow eyes, safe jobs, rehearsed smiles. They traded their calling for comfort, their power for predictability. But you're here because something inside you refused to die quietly. That voice that won't let you rest. That's your original fire. Fear is the doorway, not the lock. It is the raw material of greatness. Every heartbeat racing with dread is actually your power accelerating. You feel it because your soul recognizes something vast approaching, the truth of what you could become if you stopped shrinking. Close your eyes. Remember the last time you backed away because it felt too big, too uncertain, too dangerous. That was not life rejecting you. It was inviting you to rise higher. The pain you felt wasn't punishment. It was potential, condensed into pressure. You've lived long enough in reaction. Now it's time to transmute. Fear is your alchemy. When you stand before it, stare into it and whisper, "Show me what you're protecting," it begins to dissolve. And in its place, power emerges, trembling and alive. Because the truth is, every woman who ever transformed her life didn't kill her fear. She converted it. She let it whisper its warnings, but she walked forward anyway. That's the secret the world hides from you. Courage isn't the absence of fear. It's the command of it. Now breathe. Feel it. That's not fear anymore. That's your awakening beginning to stir. You felt it, haven't you? That shiver in your chest before you do something that could change everything. That's the pulse of transformation. But you've been taught to interpret it as danger. You've been trained by fear itself to remain loyal to limitation. The world doesn't want awakened women. It wants obedient ones. Because a woman who has turned her fear into fuel is uncontrollable. She can't be manipulated, bought, or silenced. Fear is the oldest weapon ever forged, not against you, but through you. It keeps you looping in hesitation while your destiny waits, untouchable, just one brave breath away. And every time you whisper, "I'm not ready," fear wins another battle. But here's the truth most never hear. Readiness is a myth. No one is ready for the fire that will refine them. You become ready by walking straight into it. You think fear comes to stop you, but it's actually testing if you're worthy of what you've asked for. Every dream has a guardian, and fear is the first gatekeeper. You can't bypass it. You must pass through it. That is the secret path, the ancient initiation no one speaks of anymore. When fear rises, it's not your enemy standing in front of you. It's your future, disguised as resistance. What you call panic is simply your nervous system recalibrating to a higher frequency. You're expanding, and expansion hurts. Growth always begins as chaos. You are being stretched by your own becoming. The moment you stop running from that discomfort, something strange happens. The fear begins to shift shape. Its voice lowers. Its edges soften. And if you're quiet enough, you'll hear what it's been saying all along. I was never here to destroy you. I was here to prepare you. Because power without fear becomes arrogance. But power with fear, that's awareness. That's mastery. You begin to see patterns others can't. You begin to feel energy before it arrives. You stop reacting and start responding. You stop doubting and start directing. And here's the hidden truth the world buries under noise. Fear and power are the same current. The difference is direction. Fear pulled inward paralyzes. Fear pushed outward electrifies. You've been holding lightning in your hands and calling it anxiety. But you are not fragile. You are voltage. The tremor you feel before you act is your circuitry awakening. You were never broken. You were just wired for more. Now, if you felt the pull of this truth deep in your chest, if something inside you is shaking not from fear, but from remembrance, then you're ready to claim it. To seal your transformation, type in the comments, not once, but twice, the phrase that will anchor it in your mind. Now that you've spoken it, now that you've claimed your power, the real work begins. Because transformation doesn't happen in comfort. It happens when life begins to test if you truly meant every word you said. Fear will return. It always does. But this time, it won't come to paralyze you. It will come to measure you. Understand this. The moment you declared fear is my fuel, the universe heard you. And it will respond. Opportunities will appear dressed as obstacles. Peace will shatter so your power can rise. The ground beneath you will shift, not to destroy your stability, but to force you to find it inside yourself. This is the sacred contract of awakening. Once you know, you can never unknow. Most people spend their lives praying for courage, but when fear knocks, they answer with excuses. You are not most people. You have crossed the line of return. Every challenge you meet from this moment forward is a mirror, showing you how much strength you've hidden under years of doubt. And every time fear whispers, "This is too much," your new response must be, "Then it's exactly enough." Let me tell you something. No motivational quote will ever dare to say, "Fear is holy." It is the shadow of your purpose. Wherever it points, that's where your evolution waits. That's why the things that scare you the most are often the very things you were born to do. Because destiny hides behind discomfort. It always has. You were never meant to eliminate fear. You were meant to dance with it. To let it sharpen your instincts, quicken your blood, and remind you that you are still alive. Fear is proof that the moment matters. And every time you choose action over avoidance, it bows before you, stripped of its control. But this path is not for everyone. It demands you face yourself, without filters, without pretending. It asks you to confront the small, frightened version of you too, had once begged for approval, and it commands you to stand in your truth even when your knees shake, because courage is not clean. It's messy, sweaty, trembling, and real. You are not here to play small. You are here to rise, not as the person the world told you to be, but as the force you were always destined to unleash. When you use fear as fuel, you become unstoppable, unpredictable, undeniable. You start walking with a different gravity. The air changes around you. People feel it before they understand it. This is what awakening looks like. Not light and butterflies, but fire and ash. You burn away everything false until only the truth remains. And that truth is simple. Fear was never against you. It was always guiding you home. So now stand up, straighten your spine, look your fear in the eye and whisper, "You work for me now." And then walk forward into the storm, into yourself, into freedom.